Honorable President of India and President of Indian Red Cross Society and St. John's Ambulance India, Shri Pranab Mukherjee ji, Honorable Governors and Vice Chairman of Indian Red Cross Society and St. John's Ambulance India, Mr. Leon Prop, Head of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies in India, Mr. Jeremy England, Head of the International Committee of Red Cross, members of the Managing Committee and of Indian Red Cross and National Council of St. John Ambulance India, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to express my thanks to Honorable President Shri Pranab Mukherjee ji for kindly agreeing to preside over this ceremonial session of Annual General Meeting of St. John's Ambulance and Indian Red Cross Society today at Rashtrapati Bhavan Auditorium. Sir, your continued guidance and support to two organizations has strengthened their functioning so that they could respond to the various exigencies that this country has faced in the last 2 years. As you are aware, the Indian Red Cross Society and St. John Ambulance India are two of the oldest humanitarian organizations in the country, both having a history that spans almost a century. Their mandates have been changing since their formation, from volunteers providing support to soldiers and the non-combatants who were affected by the 2 world wars, and thereafter during the partition and the several wars fought by the country post-independence. In addition to the above, presently they provide services in diverse fields, from the St. John Ambulance India providing first aid trainings and ambulance services to the country through the Association Wing and the Brigade Wing respectively, the Indian Red Cross Society interventions in disaster risk reduction, disaster relief and response, restoring family link, and health interventions include blood services and first aid. The two organizations cover the range of humanitarian interventions. Sir, in any country, the government makes plans for well-being of its citizens and also mechanisms to implement them. In today's times, when the needs are diverse, most players are called upon to participate in this implementation. That includes civil society organizations, NGOs. However, there are roles that only the Red Cross can play due to the fact that through the mandate given to the national societies by the Red Cross statutes that they work as auxiliary to the government. The IRCS has been fulfilling its mandate admirably. It forms an interface between the community and the administration right down to the district level, especially in when the district collectors are the presidents of the district branches. Sir, having suffered the wrath of nature in Uttarakhand in 2013, India has witnessed extreme flooding in Jammu and Kashmir in 2014 and in Chennai in 2015, in addition to earthquake in Manipur, leading to huge loss of lives and property. Given this background, the role of humanitarian organizations like ours to make our people more resilient to such disasters cannot be but to be underlined. According to the Indian Red Cross has been implementing the disaster management program since 1996. However, in 2011, the First Responders Program replaced this with the objective of training community volunteers across the structured training platform. The steady increase in the number of such FMR volunteers from 4,000 in 2011 to the current 16,000 speaks of its increasing reach of this program being implemented in 18 state and union territory branches. This program also incorporates regular refresher trainings and several community outreach programs for community awarenesses. The response by these volunteers in the recent floods in Jammu and Kashmir and Chennai are testimony to their effectiveness. Further, these volunteers are also involved in bringing connect between the community and the several social schemes like a Jan Dhan Yojana, insurance schemes, etc., apart from involvement in programs like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and Swasth Bharat, Swachh Bharat. Recently, The IRCS has also built in the elements of climate change adaptation and environmental management in its program to make it more relevant to the current concerns. We have also supported the people of Nepal, Fiji, and Sri Lanka by dispatching relief items in coordination with NDMA. I hope that Indian Red Cross will play its role more proactively to be an integral part of the district disaster management plan to ensure positive impact on making communities more resilient to the disasters which may impact them in future. The Red Cross movement is a strong advocate for voluntary blood donation across the world. In India, it contributes substantially to the blood collection through 161 blood banks which operate under Red Cross umbrella, including the blood bank at the national headquarters, that is NACO designated Model Blood Bank. I congratulate them on this effort. I would like to exhort the Red Cross and St. John's Ambulance volunteers to take the lead and strongly and persistently promote voluntary donations across the country. In this effort to increase the resilience of the people, especially in the health sector, IRCS embarked on supporting the RNTCP in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, in 2009. Currently, it is being implemented in 5 state branches. More than 1,000 patients were enrolled in 2015, and more than 500 have been enrolled so far in 2016. 97% of the patients have adhered to the treatment. This program also educates community on TB facts and attempts to reduce stigma and discrimination against the TB patients. I am happy that several such patients also volunteer for program are there for the program now. The St. John's Ambulance India, along with Red Cross, trains lakhs of persons, including students in first aid. In an effort to standardize the first aid training, a center of excellence in the first aid training is proposed to be set up within the Central Training Institute of National Headquarters situated at Bahadurgarh in Delhi-Haryana border, for which we have been able to secure technical support from several international and national partners. I hope similar centers will be established in different regions of the country. I am happy that the new evidence-based manual for first aid, the Indian First Aid Manual, has been jointly published by the IRCS and St. John's Ambulance India with the technical support of the Evidence-Based Center of the First Aid of the Belgium Red Cross, Flanders. We foresee that this will be an important step towards providing a uniform standard of first aid training by the Red Cross and St. John's Ambulance India and increase the capacity and confidence amongst our first aid providers who will be able to intervene and assist victims of accidents more effectively across the country. Sir, the St. John's Ambulance India Brigade Wing provides ambulance and volunteer services during several important congregations like Ganga Sagar Mela, Kumbh Mela, Godavari Pushkarma Mela, Republic Day, Independence Day across the country. I am sure that in the coming years, these ambulance services will show a remarkable ascendancy in becoming a premier pre-hospital care providers in the country. Volunteers are the core strength of both the IRCS and St. John's Ambulance India. I would again like to congratulate all the award winners of both the organizations who will be receiving awards today for their outstanding services to the cause of the suffering of humanity. They are the truly embodiment of the spirit of voluntary action, and through them, I congratulate all the volunteers of both the organizations without whose selfless, spirited services these organizations would not exist. Volunteerism, humanity, impartiality, independence are some of the 7 principles of Red Cross which also guide the work of St. John's Ambulance. I have tried to summarize some of the important works of both the organizations today. The efforts of the 2 organizations will substantially contribute to building community resilience in the line of the objects of Sendai Declaration of March 2015 and the Paris Agreement. I feel that in today's time, the message that these organizations bring and can energize the youth to take a lead and leave the world a better place to live for future generations. Thank you. Jai Hind.